And he's traveled all this way to pay his respects on this solemn occasion. That is the mark of a true friend, and we thank you. And I believe we'd all be interested in hearing how Benjamin spent his last few months in the mountains of Huanalco. And Henry, would you mind coming up and saying a few words on Benji's behalf? Perhaps with a little encouragement we could, sure.
My good friends, we are here today to say goodbye to Benjamin. I don't think there's any doubt that most of you have known him longer than I have, but I should be happy to share some of my personal experiences with him. Before I returned to my hometown in California, Benji and I spent several months, I spent several months with Benji in in Peru with the Peace Corps. Everyone always knew him as Benji. One of the photos that shows Benji next to a well, as you all know, or perhaps didn't know, Benji and I spent much of our time digging wells with the natives high in the high mountains of Peru to bring a freshwater supply to the villages. That photo showing Benji at a well with the sign number 1. I would have been in the photo with him, but someone had to take the picture. We, along with the natives, helped construct 5 wells, or was it 6? And we set up an irrigation system that can now furnish water to hundreds of acres of once desolate land. And I think now the Peruvians are planning on planting pineapples and peanuts and persimmons and many other exotic fruits. Without a doubt, these wells will make a big impact on the economy of this South American country. And of course, most of it is due to Benjamin's initiative. He was, after all, a born leader. I always thought he'd make a great civil engineer. I see that his prom photo is also there. He talked about Julie a lot. Evidently, she meant a lot to him. I don't believe Julie ever married, Benji never said, but I got the impression that when he returned, he was going to look her up. Benji played banjo. I don't know if you all knew that. At night, we would sit around a fire and he would sing some of the old favorites like Kumbaya and other favorites like Kumbaya. That was real fun. And now many of the natives are, as a result, taking banjo lessons. The Peace Corps wasn't all work, no. We had our playtime. That photo with the red flyer wagon reminded me of the time that we found some old wheels and made a makeshift cart and used it to ride downhill as fast as we could. Benji loved riding downhill just as fast as he could. And one time we flew down this long hill and sailed over a 50-foot embankment. And I thought, sure, the two of us were going to be killed when we hit the bottom. But there was a river below. And when we hit the water, the cart sank, but we swam to shore. I heard later that there were alligators in that river. I guess we were just lucky. Well, that sort of tells you the kind of person Benji was. And it's rather humbling to have been his friend, even if it was for just a short moment in time.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Henry, you don't know how enlightening those words were. Thank you. Thank you. And now we'll honor Martha's request by singing Amazing Grace.
I'm Benjamin's grandfather. Your story about making that cart was wonderful. I'm glad you decided to share it with us.
Well, it just sort of came to me, you might say.
I'm glad it did. You certainly caught the spirit of my grandson.
You know, when I first saw you, I knew you were Henry. You have that unmistakable look of a Peace Corps volunteer.
Thank you.
How did it actually happen?
What happened?
The accident at the well.
I really don't know.
You were somewhere else at the time?
I would say that's an accurate statement.
How deep was the well?
Hey, I don't think we should really be talking about how my nephew died.
Of course, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Young man, you delivered a superb send-off for our Benjamin. This truly is the work of God.
I love that story about the alligator. It must have been scary.
It was.
Did you ever get your cart back?
No, we didn't. That river was over 300 feet deep.
Oh my.
Henry, you don't know what your presence has meant to all of us today.
I know what it's meant to me.
Are you planning on staying a while?
No, I have to get back to,
California?
yes, California.
What city do you live in?
Well, at the moment,
Henry. It was so wonderful to hear what a good friendship you and Benji had. I am so glad you came.
So am I, Mrs. Peckerly.
I know you haven't been here very long, but where are you staying?
Well, I just came directly here from...
We want you to stay with us.
Oh, I couldn't do that, Mrs. Peckerly.
Yes, and you can stay in Benji's room.
Mrs. Peckerly,
No, that's settled. You will stay at our house in Benji's room, and I will not take no for an answer. Daniel, Frankie!
When she decides, she decides. She's a really headstrong woman.